So, have you ever wondered when you go to a shoe store, why would you see a shoe with the ending price of 999 in the end? You know, that is a part of a persuasion, which is what I'm going to mention today in this opportunity, which my topic is power of persuasion. The persuasion in this thing doesn't mean that I want to persuade a mate or persuade people to play with me. No, the persuasion in this thing is persuasion of marketing and sales. What does that mean? It's a psychological thing to make people buy your stuffs and products if you are a corporation. So let's start into it. But before we start, I want to read a quote by Jeffrey Gitomer. He once said that I like to think of sales as the ability to gracefully persuade, not manipulate, a person or persons into a win-win situation. That clearly states that management, marketing, sales really include psychology. You know, we're not gonna go too deep into it. I'm just gonna mention the general part of it. So, all right. I think I've got 4 points that I've got to state about what are the psychological and then persuasion that is used in marketing and sales. All right. So I'm gonna explain to you what is the meaning of sales and marketing strategy. So, sales and marketing strategy are plans by a business or individual on how to go about selling products and services and increasing profits. So, the strategies are typically developed by a company's administration along with its sales, marketing, and advertising managers. So, what are the typical development from the managers of the market of the strategy? Let's go dug into it. So the first thing that I want to mention is priming. So what is priming? Priming in psychology means the exposure of a stimulus that also make other stimulus think of other things. In basic, let's say nurse. Therefore, people would think in a shortcut of doctor. Nurse and doctor is related by one each other. So, but that is not what this means in this situation. What I'm gonna say is really some example about it, like the thing about color, logos, and design of the company itself. Like I'm gonna mention over here that here I show you about priming. So there is a big influence of color in marketing and sales because with the logos itself, it already represent the brand itself. For like this, the color red, it's all about passion, excitation, and intensity. Orange, creativity, joviality, and so on. And also, do you notice that the brands that includes food and or food chain and franchises includes the color red and yellow, such as McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, and so on. And also, the one prime example is this. I got this kind of sardine. What is it colored? It's red and yellow. So, why would the brand color it red and yellow? So, it turns out that the color red and the color yellow, it somehow makes you feel hungry, and also that stimulates your brain for a second into making you feel like you want to buy the product because you're hungry for a second. This is like it is like mind-blowing to me because I've never thought that behind the color there could also be psychological things included in it. Also, like this, in my presentation, the color green, it involves with health, nature, and yeah, so on. Like this thing, this is a what is it called? Chaplang. This is a cajeput oil. What's it colored? It's green because it represents health and nature. Therefore, meaning that this could help you with your problems to make you feel healthy in the future. Alright, moving on to the next point. The next one is decoy effect. So, what is decoy effect? So, the decoy effect is the phenomenon whereby consumers will tend to have a specific change in preference between two options when also presented with a third option that is asymmetrically dominated. This is one of the examples of the decoy effect. It's Starbucks. So, with this one, you got the small product, a small cup of coffee, and then the medium cup of coffee that costs $5 and $7. What would you pick? Without the decoy effect, you will probably choose the smaller one because you will think that the medium is expensive because of the $2 range. But when you put a decoy product like this, there's the third option of the product, which is the large one, which is $9. So, therefore, making the medium one feels much more reasonable than before. Therefore, you would pick the medium one. So, that's the market of Starbucks, And there were also similar research about this. It happens in a cinema, which they sold popcorns in two sizes, the small one and the large one. So they cost the price of the small popcorn $3 and the large one $7. What would you pick, the small one or the large one? Between the $3 and $7 product is a really large range. Margin is really high. So your brain will think that, oh, this is too expensive, $7, that's outrageous. That's why you will pick the $3. But then there's an added product in it. This is the decoy product. So they added another size, the medium size, which then makes it 3 products included. There's the small one, medium one, and the large one. The small one were $3. And then the large one were $7. But if you put the medium with the price of $6.50, people will think twice. If I buy the medium, it only costs. If you can add more 50 cents, you can buy the large popcorn. Therefore, that you can think that the large popcorn is reasonable enough to be bought. Therefore, people would buy the large popcorn. That's the research behind it. It's called the decoy effect. Alright, moving on to the next one. It's charm pricing. This one I mentioned before. Why, when you go to a shoe store, shoe retailer, you have the price tag that is $99.99 in the back. Why would that be the thing? Let me show you. So, this is what it's called, charm pricing. So the idea behind this is to reduce the left digit by 1 cent, So the example is when a product is $20, you put away 1 cent behind it, so it becomes $19.99, which that makes your brain think that this thing is not $20, it's $19. Therefore making people to think to buy it because it feels cheaper instead. And also another example is this: when you have a big price in the tag, and it's making people think it's expensive, rather than making it really big in the tag, make it smaller. People would think that, oh, it's not a big deal, it's still affordable. That is charm pricing. That's why shoe retailer and other retailers use this to make them feel like it's affordable enough. So that was charm pricing. Also, we have a brother of charm pricing, and it's called prestige pricing. So what is prestige pricing? Let me show you. So what is a prestige pricing? So this is basically a way to promote a much more expensive products in your lineup. Like this, I put up an example, which is Apple. So when Apple launches the iPhone 11, it made a lineup with the iPhone 8 and iPhone X. You know, this lineup is a subliminal message to your brain to make you think, oh, I should buy the iPhone 11 Pro Max and iPhone 11 lineup because the iPhone 8 and iPhone X is kind of outdated. So people would also think that higher prices will also mean higher quality of product, which in this case is not the thing. They are still not outdated and they're also in almost the same quality as the another. The difference on the phones and all is just the slight and minor updates on the new phones. So the summary of prestige pricing is comparing the much more so-called outdated and also cheaper product to the much more expensive lineup of products, into thinking that the customer will think that the higher price products means higher quality products, when the thing is, it's not always the case. You know, people, that includes the 4 subjects that I want to mention in my presentation about power of persuasion in sales and marketing. I hope you enjoy it and also learn something new from it, and probably could help you with your new product lineup or something in the future, I hope. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.